Right, so here we have a 1994 GMC Suburban. What we're going to be doing is replacing our steering coupler or our rag joint. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to remove our steering shaft. Okay, so our first bolt we want to do is a 11 millimeter connected right to the steering gearbox. All right, so then we have another bolt for the steering shaft to the steering column. So I have a 17 millimeter. I'm going to go ahead and pull our bolt out. Okay, so I do make note the bolt goes in like this. That way we know that this is flanged the right way for our steering wheel to still be straight, and we have our bolt straight up. Our wheels are straight. That way when we put it back together, it'll end up the same way. So now we just want to collapse our steering column so we can get it out. So we want to kind of wiggle it inward and then pull it off the gearbox. All right, so we just compressed our steering shaft to get the length to pull it out. All right, so now we're ready to replace our rag joint. All right, so here's our coupler. You can see how there was a lot of movement in our steering shaft there, pretty loose. All right, so we have our new one we got from Auto Parts Direct to You. All right, so I'm going to put this on the gearbox just to make sure. It does look like it's it. Checking the check, everything looks good. All right, so what we have to do is we're going to have to cut out this rivet right here, and then we'll use the nut and bolt. So I'll use a grinder and we'll cut out these two rivets right here. But first I'm going to make sure that this fits the gearbox, just to make sure that I have the right part. All right, so now we're ready to cut our piece out. So we're going to cut these two rivets right here, which will free us up on this side. We'll have to beat that piece out. I want to make sure I put everything back the same way, so I'm just going to make a couple notes for myself. So I have our pinch upward. So I'm just going to make a little scribe. That way I know the pinch is upwards. That way I put it back the same way that it came. So, all right, so I'm just going to grind this side out on both of them, and then we'll beat the pin out. All right, so we beat them down. We got them cut off. Now we'll beat them out. All right, I think I got to cut it again. A little closer. It is swelled out around that little pinch, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it again. All right, so now we want to assemble our joint on. Go ahead and remove our bolts. Go ahead and get both nuts started. All right, and we did same orientation. Now we'll go ahead and tighten them up. All right, there you go, a lot better. All right, so we'll go ahead and put this back into the vehicle. All right, so now we'll go ahead and put our shaft back on. This time we'll put that bolt in first. All right, we'll go ahead and stretch our shaft back out. All right, now we'll go ahead and tighten our lower bolt. All right, and we're all set with putting a new rag joint in.